What's up guys, it's Cuss by Coast here with another video today. Today we're going to do a Luka Doncic type haircut. I understand he's got darker hair than him, but it's the same exact haircut. So we're going to start off with a 2 on the sides. Following the 2 guard, we're going to use clipper closed. And then we're going to go clipper open because we're just going to take the taper to the top of the ear. Now we're going to use our wall 1 guard all the way open, flicking out into the 2 guard we previously did, and then we will take the lever all the way closed and lighten up that bottom guideline. So now we're going to use our wall half guard all the way closed, flicking out our bottom guideline. And then we're going to follow that by using a 1.5 guard, lightening up the very last guideline on this side of the taper. And then we'll follow that with a 1 guard open just to make sure that we fully are satisfied with this step. Now we're going to line up his C-cup and start lining up towards the top of his beard. And after that, we're going to line up behind his ears. Whenever you put a line on something, you can tell if there's any light or dark spots that you previously missed. So once you do that, it gives you a better overall picture. So some people line up people before they even start the haircut. I personally don't, because I feel like the hair should be a little bit shorter, so you can put the sharpest line on it and not have to keep going back. But that is a thing that some people do. So now we're fading in his beard, just making sure that it doesn't look crazy. We're going to take care of it all here in a second, but to start off, we're just gonna fade into it. And most of the time I stop a fade on a beard at the bottom of the ear because you don't want to cut too much into it. He doesn't have the biggest beard anyway, so we're not gonna take much away from him. You know, we want to make sure that he can keep working on growing out his beard. Following up on cleaning up the beard, we're going to go ahead and line it up with our trimmers. Later we will come in with a straight razor to make it as sharp as we can. After I line up my beards, I line up the mustache, and then I put a guard on and trim down the mustache area if needed. His is a little spotty, so we're just going to make sure that it's full same color throughout. As you can tell, towards the middle and the edges, his is darker, but that's what we're here for. We're going to take care of that. So here we're going to use the same exact steps as the other side. You know, we're going to start with our 2 and then go straight into our taper. As you can tell, I'm flicking out into the weight over here on this side because we don't want to take that away. You know, we want the look to be square and not round. Round is not the right look. If your client thinks it is, then you know, you got to get the look that they want. But I talk my clients out of doing that silly stuff. But to you beginners, you know, my barber school teacher did teach me one thing out of all that time I was there. You do what they want the first time, and then the second time, third time, you can start making suggestions. But now that I've been doing it for so long, I make suggestions immediately because I don't want to direct anybody in the wrong path. Speaking of barber school, it's just funny. This is the guy I took to my state board test. You know, in Kentucky, we had to do the test with no guards, just combs and a clipper. You know, stuff that doesn't show what you can do as far as cutting hair anyway. It's just what they want to see. So this is probably the worst person I could have took. He's got really dark hair. His hairline isn't the most fortunate, so most of the time I slightly cut into it. He didn't have any facial hair at the time that I went. So really I just barely shaved anything off. And you know, like I said, this is probably just the worst model I could have taken, but he was always there whenever I needed somebody. He didn't really care about his hair, and he already knew I was going to fix him up at the shop whenever it was over. And you know, do the same thing to both sides. So we've already faded in his beard and completed this taper, so now we're just going to get a sharp line on his hair and beard. We're going to do the same thing to the back as we always do to every single side. We're going to do a 2 up into the weight, flicking out because we don't want to cut off too much. We will handle that whenever we get to the top. After this, we're going to go in, and on this exact video, I kind of split the taper in the back up into 2 parts because I know that some people struggle with doing a huge taper where the side tapers are smaller. You can really focus on what you're doing. So here I'm breaking it up into two parts. So now that we've done our open clipper and below, we're going to do our 1 guard. And after the 1 guard, we're going to follow with a 1/2 guard, lightening up that guideline. And you can see it's coming right out. Now we're going to go in with the 1.5 guard, flicking out the very last guideline. The 1.5 guard is the last guard you need before you flick into the 2. And if that doesn't lighten up the line, you go down to a 1 guard open. And right here is a good angle showing you how to focus on one part of the head. We're just going to do this taper the exact same, clipper all the way open, halfway open, and then all the way closed to the very bottom. And if we need to, we'll go in with the trimmer to lighten it up. Next, we'll do the 1 guard, open, close, then 1/2 guard, halfway open. And those are my standard guidelines for every video. I'm going to go back to trying to do 1 video a week. I spoke on this in the last video. I'm trying to keep it consistent, but as you can tell in this video, I have long hair. I cut my hair off before Christmas, so I was putting in the work to record the videos, just not to do the voiceovers, but we're back to that now. So now we're going to go in with clipper over comb, holding the bottom of the comb up against the head, and the top is angled outward because we're not trying to cut into it. We're just trying to take off that very bottom section. And sometimes I go out of order. I must have forgot to finish his mustache, so we went back in and lined that up and trimmed it down. And now we're going to trim up the beard. You can tell what a sharp line does to a beard. Now his beard looks a lot fuller after cleaning this area up. Alright, and now we're on to the top. We're going to take about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch off the top. He comes in about every 2 to 3 months, so the average hair grows at 1/2 inch a month. We're going to go back to what we normally do, so cutting off a little over 1 inch is about the exact length that we would need to do to get him back to regular. So his hair wasn't completely saturated, so I went back in and got it a little bit more wet because I'm not really one to cut dry hair, so this is what's best for me, and I think it would be best for you guys too. I think cutting hair dry is kind of I don't know the right word to say, but it's not the best to do, and it'll make you mess up because it's like a smoke screen. But on the edge, I'm just doing a very, very small amount of point cutting because I don't want to make it round on the edge, but I want that part to be blended in. And here we're going to go in with some 245 clay and style the hair to the desired look. Luka kind of has like a messy comb over. He doesn't have a super like greaser look. So we wanted to put the dry style in and get it to the desired look. Alright YouTube, that's the end of the video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tag your friends, and like I said in previous videos, just let me know what you guys want to see. I just got a comment saying that somebody wanted to see a burst fade, so the next burst fade I got, I'm going to record it, and I appreciate you guys. I'm Coach by Coast, and I'm out of here.